Why do we still remember the Rugrats? I don't think it's just because of the new reboot that came out last year. Something about these weird babies with necks that probably should not be holding up their giant heads is just so endearing. So much so that it landed them 9 seasons, 3 movies, and 1 successful spin-off. The Rugrats is a classic. Why don't we take a deeper look at what made this show so memorable? After all these years, I will never forget how charming the main characters of this show were. Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil, and Angelica, later adding in Susie, Dill, and Kimmy, felt like friends that lived in your neighborhood, whether it's exploring the backyard or chatting about your favorite show. These babies always felt like they were having a blast in whatever they were doing. Sure, they had their moments where they would fight, but they were all pretty supportive of one another. It always felt like even characters that were enemies like Susie and Angelica would still settle their differences and become friends at the end of the day, which was a really refreshing thing to see. Even with every addition to the cast of characters like Dill or Kimmy, they never felt out of place. It tied the movies into the long series, which refreshed the series. The movie that I was most excited for as a kid was The Rugrats Gone Wild, where the babies got to meet the wild thornberries. Man, that was such a great show. That level of excitement grew when we got the spin-off All Grown Up, where we see these beloved characters as teenagers. In my opinion, it really enhanced my appreciation for Dill, a character that never really talked in the original series. These charming characters are a big reason why this franchise was so successful. Through their sense of adventure and their imagination, these babies inspired others to go and explore. When it came to the show as a whole, the Rugrats takes simple everyday concepts and has the babies explore them for the first time. Ideas like, can you get sucked down the bathtub drain, dumpster trucks, and what it feels like to lose your glasses. All of these concepts felt pretty straightforward. That's what made them entertaining. Taking these simple concepts other kids that are watching can relate to, like childhood phobias. As a kid, I definitely had 2 irrational fears. One was the gap between my bed and the wall, and 2 was getting sucked down the drain. Still to this day, I have no idea why these 2 things scared me, but they did. When it comes to the Rugrats, it showcased these irrational fears really well. A good example is when Chucky loses his glasses for the first time, he's scared that everything looks blurry and starts to overthink, making everything look like monsters. Once he runs into Spike, the image of the dog being a monster fades. Sure, the world is still blurry to Chucky, but he feels a little less anxious. He does manage to get his glasses back in the end, which is all good and dandy. This episode and many others see the babies facing other scary things, like bathtub drains or becoming an older sister. And through some haunting imagery from nightmares or overthinking things, some that even kept me up when I was a kid, the Rugrats bring those fears into reality, visually showcasing what it feels like to be afraid and how to rationalize those fears. The show did the same type of thing with other concepts as well, having the babies be curious about everything around them, whether it be a box or the dumpster truck. They just were ready to learn about the world around them. Through 9 seasons of curiosity, it never got old because the babies were always exploring something new. The Rugrats writers knew how to write each adventure to center around the idea of babies being babies, which made this show really relatable. It reminds you of when you were a baby discovering new things. As we get older, that curiosity about the world around us starts to fade. With that being said, the show can still be relatable. We may not understand the baby's perspective as clearly, but the adult's actions start to make more sense. As a kid, I always always hated how the parents had so much screen time. All of them were pretty boring and took away from the baby's adventures, but now, as a person in my 20s, I understand why they're so important. They're just as relatable, even more so now. All of them are first-time parents that are just trying to navigate the world and take care of their kids. With each adult comes a little different way of parenting their kid. Stu wants Tommy and Dill to have a fun childhood, so he invents toys. Dee Dee is the one that always goes by the book, and then on the other side of the spectrum, you have Drew and Charlotte that work really hard at their jobs, but kind of forget about Angelica. It kind of makes sense why Angelica is always the center of attention, and she's not the only one that reflects her parents in some way. Tommy has childlike wonder like his dad. Chucky likes things neat and tidy, just like his father. The importance of these adult characters doesn't stop there. They are just as relatable with their own lives as well. In one episode, the men are in charge of the babies for an afternoon, and instead of doing that, they decide to watch football, oblivious to the kids having a chocolate milk fight right behind them. This situation still feels like it could happen today, which makes these dads really fun and really enjoyable to watch, even when they're not watching their kids. This is kind of a common trope for the show, one that works in favor because it allows the babies to go on an adventure and has the adults doing whatever it is they want to do. Having two different plots going on helped this be more of a family show instead of a show just for kids. Recently, I asked you guys why this show was so memorable through a community tab poll. I'm going to be asking more questions for future videos, so keep a lookout. As of recording this video, 71% of you thought that the characters were charming, which they are indeed. One person commented talking about the advertising for the show. Even if you didn't grow up watching the show, you definitely saw a lot of merchandise from it, whether that be Burger King toys or popsicles. Yes, there was a Chucky popsicle with bubblegum eyes that I in fact remember eating at one time or another. The Rugrats had so many different toys, games, and books. As a kid, I remember having a Rugrats sleeping bag and cuddling up, watching the VCR version of the Rugrats Go to Paris 40 billion times. The show had so much advertising, it felt like every other ad on Nickelodeon at the time was about these babies. Even to this day, you could probably go to Target, Kohl's, or Hot Topic and find a Rugrats related shirt. This was Nickelodeon's golden show, until, the yellow square came in and took the crown away from them. After rewatching this show, I can see why so many still remember it. The characters were charming, the plot was easy to follow, and it explored concepts that any kid can relate to. The show is entertaining and educational, teaching the importance of problem solving and creativity, showcasing what being a kid is all about, to explore the world around you with wide eyes. I think this is some of the reason why Nickelodeon rebooted the show, knowing full well that 90s kids will be showing this new version to their kids. Although I have no plans in watching the reboot, hopefully they bring that same type of curiosity and air of adventure into the new series. But hey, that's just what I think. I would love to hear your thoughts about the Rugrats in the comments down below. Let me know what other beloved TV show you want me to chat about next. If you liked this video, you may enjoy this one about the Powerpuff Girls. Hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.